Hello everyone, welcome back to Cineverse today. We're diving into a gripping horror thriller titled Cannibal Comedian. This intense and chilling movie blends dark humor with terrifying moments, and trust me, it will keep you glued to your screen till the very end. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the story. So the film starts, and a voice tells us about cannibals. It was a type that used to consume human flesh. They believed that the person they consume, his intelligence and his strength will come inside them. After this, the movie starts, and we are shown a man named Charlie wearing a mask, who is a cannibal, and now he has gone to the desert to hunt a human for his food. He was chasing a woman who was very scared of him. She hides in her house in fear, but Charlie sees her and ends her with his axe and brings her home, after which he makes a lot of meatballs from this woman's meat. He also gets hungry and then comes to the side of the highway road to sell them. He used to sell them and earn money. Then a car passes through the highway and a couple comes to his shop. They were fighting each other because the boy wanted to consume meatballs and the girl was vegan. She didn't want the boy to consume meatballs. Calling him a meatball, Charlie tells a lot of jokes, which this boy enjoyed a lot. Here we find out that Charlie wants to be a big comedian, but he never got such a chance. Anyway, when the couple was about to leave, suddenly Charlie turned his axe from behind and attacked the man and ended him there. Seeing this, the girl was very scared. She ran to save her life, and luckily, she found a car on the road. There was a girl named Eleanor in this car, from whom she begs for her life. But Eleanor refuses to help her, and it is revealed that she was Charlie's friend, and she found out that this girl, who is running like this, is definitely Charlie's prey. After which, Charlie comes here and ends this girl and takes her home. Then he starts making meatballs again from this couple's meat. The scene is cut, and now we see a very famous singer named Crystal. She had to perform at a festival today, for which she was going. On the way, Charlie's area came, where Eleanor was standing and pretending to have her car broken. Actually, she had come to hunt for Charlie. Crystal gave her a lift, and as soon as she sat in the car, Eleanor attacked her and made her unconscious. After this, Charlie comes here, and these two take Crystal inside their house, and there, Charlie ties Crystal. When Crystal came to her senses, she found Charlie in front of her. She asked Charlie, "What do you want from me?" Charlie said, "Nothing, I just want you to be in front of me." After saying this, he told Crystal a lot of jokes, and Crystal did not understand why this kidnapper was telling her jokes. Crystal tells Charlie here that I will end you and run away, but Charlie does not answer her and sits down to eat. Here we see Sheriff Liver, who got the news that Crystal is missing in the desert. He was looking for Crystal, so he also knocks on Charlie's house, but Charlie clearly denies that he does not know a girl named Crystal, and he lives alone in this house. Now Sheriff has no doubt. He also brought Sheriff inside his house, and here he also told Sheriff a lot of jokes. Because of this, these two became very frank with each other. Some time passes, and Charlie finds himself sitting in front of the television. As he flips through channels, an ad catches his attention. It's for a comedy club that gives everyone a chance to perform. Anyone could walk in and do stand-up comedy. For Charlie, who had always dreamed of becoming a famous comedian, this felt like the perfect opportunity. Excited, he decides to check it out. As he prepares, he starts listening to music, specifically a song by his favorite artist, Crystal. From this, we understand something shocking. Crystal is still alive. He hasn't killed her yet. She's clearly special to him. After enjoying the music, Charlie goes back to his twisted routine, cutting up old corpses and making what he calls meatballs from their remains. Later, Eleanor comes over to his house. She sees the meatballs and asks Charlie if she can eat the ones made from Crystal. But Charlie calmly tells her that Crystal is still alive. He hasn't consumed her yet. Sometime later, Charlie visits Crystal, but she's furious with him, angry over her captivity and what he's been doing. Annoyed by her shouting, Charlie puts tape over her mouth to silence her. Then he casually turns on the television while eating. On the screen is a news report. Crystal has officially been reported missing. As this plays, Charlie laughs maniacally, as if it's all just a joke to him. The next day, we shift to a desert scene where two men arrive. They appear to be thieves, and it turns out they once buried something valuable out here. But after digging for a while, they can't find what they were looking for. Enter Charlie's house. There, they stumble upon Crystal, tied up and helpless. Instead of being shocked, they burst into laughter at the bizarre sight. Crystal tries to warn them, She urges them to leave immediately, but they ignore her. Suddenly, Charlie appears. Without hesitation, he attacks one of the men and kills him. The other tries to flee in terror, but Charlie chases him down and ends him too. After the chaos, Charlie searches their bodies and finds something unexpected. A poster for the same comedy club he had seen on TV. The address is written on it. Later, Charlie stands in front of his bathroom mirror, trying to hype himself up. "My jokes are good," he tells himself. "If people just listen, they'll love them." But a moment later, doubt creeps in. He sighs and admits, "Why am I fooling myself? I know this is all nonsense. I'm not ready for this." He turns to the one person who might understand, Crystal. He goes to her and asks for help. Surprised, she replies, "Help? What kind of help?" Charlie explains, "You're an artist. You perform in front of crowds. Tell me, how do you face the audience?" Crystal looks at him and says something that sticks. "You don't think about the audience. You just go out there and perform. Sometimes in life, you have to take risks." Her words light a spark in Charlie. Motivated and inspired, he finally makes up his mind. He's going to the comedy club. He's ready for the spotlight, no matter how dark his reality is. As Charlie prepares for his first ever live comedy show, Sheriff and Eleanor wish him good luck. Dressed in his usual bizarre fashion, his clothes stained with blood and dark smears across his body, he arrives at the comedy club. His appearance is shocking. He looks exactly like a real cannibal, and fittingly, he registers his stage name as the Cannibal Comedian. Before his turn, several other performers take the stage. One by one, they share their jokes, and the audience enjoys every bit of it. Everyone is having a great time. Then, finally, it's Charlie's moment. When Charlie steps up and begins his set, the crowd is instantly captivated. His jokes, dark, bizarre, and strangely hilarious, win them over. Even the first comedian of the night, the one who also happens to run the comedy club, is thoroughly impressed. He laughs along with everyone else, surprised by Charlie's unique style. After the performance, the club owner invites Charlie to perform again next week. As a joke, he says, "Since you're the Cannibal Comedian, next time, bring a dead body with you." He laughs it off, but Charlie takes it literally. Fast forward a week. Charlie returns to the club, carrying an actual dead body with him. As he enters, the same comedian greets him and says, "Whoa, you really brought a dead body? I was just kidding." But everyone in the club thinks it's just a prop, a part of Charlie's act. They have no idea the body is real. Charlie's second performance is even more powerful. His jokes hit harder. His energy is magnetic. The presence of the dead body adds an unsettling yet compelling effect. It's like he poured his soul into the show. The audience laughs harder than ever before. The crowd goes wild. And just like that, Charlie becomes a sensation, famous as the Cannibal Comedian. Ecstatic after his breakout performance, Charlie returns home. In his excitement, he decides to free Crystal, at least for a little while. He's in the mood to celebrate. He invites her to join him for a special meal. Crystal knows exactly what's on the menu, human meat, but she has no choice. To survive, she has to eat it. After the meal, Charlie ties her back up and turns his attention to preparing for his next big performance. A week later, Charlie returns to the club, excited and confident, but this time, the audience is completely different. They're rude, dismissive, and aggressive. One by one, they insult every comedian who takes the stage. "Not funny," they shout again and again. Charlie watches all of this, anger building inside him. Then, the comedian sitting next to him breaks down in tears, saying, "They didn't even let me finish my set." Now it's Charlie's turn. He walks up to the stage, his jokes ready, but the heckling begins almost immediately. "Not funny," they shout again. And then someone from the crowd yells, "Hey cannibal, why don't you consume me instead?" That was the final straw. Charlie snaps. A moment later, the unthinkable happens. Charlie attacks and kills the heckler, and then he consumes him. After the incident, Charlie calmly returns home and starts preparing for his next show. He writes a new script, dark, twisted, and strangely brilliant. And just like last time, it's a hit. After the performance, Charlie sits alone. Then, the club owner approached Charlie. When he saw Charlie's mask, crafted from what looked like real human skin, he was startled. Nervously, he asked, "What is this?" Charlie lied, calmly saying, "It's fake. I made it myself." Surprisingly, instead of being creeped out, people became even more curious about Charlie. They began asking questions about him, like where he came from and where he lived. Charlie casually replied, "I live on Desert Road." The owner chuckled awkwardly and said, "Don't mess around. I've heard that cannibals live there." Trying to lighten the mood, the owner asked, "Where do you even get these cannibal jokes from?" Charlie gave a chilling smile and replied, "I don't need to make them up. I live the cannibal life myself. The owner burst into laughter, thinking Charlie was still joking. "You're unbelievable," he said, dismissing the comment. He didn't take Charlie seriously. He thought all this cannibal talk was just part of Charlie's dark humor. As Charlie's popularity grew, the owner started to feel jealous. He himself was a comedian and had built his own platform, FunTube. But now, Charlie was getting more attention and praise than him. A week later, Charlie goes to the fun club again, hoping to perform, but to his shock, all the performance slots had already been booked. There was no space left for him. This didn't happen just once. Every time Charlie showed up to perform, he was told the same thing. All the slots were full. He became frustrated and disheartened. One day, when Sheriff came to Charlie's house to get his usual mid-ball service, Charlie vented his frustration. Sheriff tried to comfort him, saying, "Don't worry, you'll get a spot. Your jokes are amazing. I laugh every single time." Encouraged, Charlie returned to the club the next day and finally confronted the owner. "Why aren't you giving me a show?" he asked. The owner sighed and told him the hard truth. "Your cannibal jokes are getting old. People are bored of them now. That's why someone else always gets your slot." This made Charlie furious. He stormed off and vented his anger on Crystal. "I shouldn't have listened to you," he shouted. "What did I get from all this? People have stopped liking me." Charlie was devastated. His confidence was shattered. He turned to Crystal and said, "I'm a failure. I should just die." But Crystal, trying to lift him up again, encouraged him. "Your jokes are still great. Don't give up." And she was right. Charlie still had talent. He began preparing for another performance, one last time. Now, the club owner tried to steal Charlie's identity. He dressed up like him, pretended to be a cannibal, and even performed Charlie's original jokes on stage. Coincidentally, Sheriff was in the audience that night. As soon as he heard the jokes, he realized something was off. He recognized them immediately. Charlie had told him those same jokes before. Shocked and angry, Sheriff quickly called Charlie to tell him what was happening. Hearing this, Charlie was filled with rage. Meanwhile, the imposter began recording an advertisement for a huge upcoming show. But it wasn't just any show. It was being planned on Desert Road, the infamous Cannibal Road, near Charlie's very own house. This was the last straw for Charlie. Consumed by the fire of revenge, Charlie made his move. That night, as the fake Charlie left the club and headed home, Charlie ambushed him. Injuring his legs so he couldn't escape, Charlie dragged him back to his house. When the imposter saw Charlie's home, he was horrified. The place was littered with corpses. Now he finally understood. Charlie wasn't joking. He truly was a cannibal. Terrified, the imposter begged for his life. "Please, I'll give you my entire fun club. Just don't hurt me." But Charlie wasn't moved by his pleas. Instead, he asked coldly, "What do you want from me?" Trembling, the man confessed, "I used to be a famous comedian, but ever since you showed up, the crowd shifted to you. People stopped watching my shows, so I stole your idea, your cannibal jokes, thinking it would bring me fame. Hardly anyone knows you, so I thought no one would accuse me of copying." Charlie stood silent, brooding. Meanwhile, back at Charlie's house, something unexpected happened. We see from behind that Crystal had broken free. Taking advantage of the chaos, she launched a surprise attack on Charlie and escaped. Before fleeing, she had secretly recorded everything on a tape. Later, when Charlie listened to the tape, he heard her chilling voice. "I told you, I'd escape and destroy you." In the final scenes, we see Crystal standing on stage, right where Charlie used to perform. Now she was the one telling jokes. Strangely, it seemed she too might have embraced the cannibal identity. Eleanor was also in the audience, watching the show unfold. Meanwhile, Sheriff had arrived at Charlie's house, and despite everything, he still stood by his friend's side. On the weekend, Charlie completed his revenge. He ended the man who had stolen his identity, and with that, the twisted story comes to a chilling end. But as the screen fades to black, one thing becomes clear. This isn't the last time we'll see Charlie. The next sequel is coming soon, and the next chapter of this twisted tale is just beginning. Stay tuned, because the sequel is coming soon.